Yeehaw, it's YouTube Tuesday. This is Jean with C&J Farm, a medicinal urban organic egg farm right here in beautiful Matthews County, Virginia. I have Kim.goeltom here with me today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. We've been having a wonderful day. It's been a little warm, but we've been having a great time visiting and talking wellness. So, Kim, you go ahead and introduce yourself and everything you're doing.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a Superwoman wellness coach, and I really take that holistic approach in helping someone to identify what is that root cause, that root challenge that they're experiencing. Because a lot of times, just to kind of give everyone an example, people will come to me for sugar addiction, and it's not that they don't know what sugar is or how sugar could be harmful to the body or what the 50 synonyms are and how to identify them on a label, right? It's more about what is the sugar replacing in their life. And I use a 12-element wellness wheel to really help people to identify, where things are, and not to make everything perfectly balanced, because that's not possible, but creating some sort of semblance of harmony for what is needed for where they're at in this stage of their life. And so that's really what I do, is help support, guide, and educate other superwomen.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Her and I were talking that because she customizes her work to the person, which that's a big thing that among herbalists too. A good herbalist treats an illness. I mean, treats a person, not an illness. You look at the person, not the illness. And that sounds like what you're doing. Yeah. You're looking at the whole picture, not just what's going on, with an illness or something. So
absolutely.
Tell me more about the 12-wheel thing.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic, because it's a little bit of what we were talking about earlier. It's where you're incorporating, rest, but also relationships, and not just personal relationships, but family relationships, work relationships. Oh, by the way, how's that career going? How are you digesting all these different elements in your life? Really impacts a person. And so there's 12 in there, so it's really wellness from a 360 perspective.
Well, especially right now with this whole pandemic thing going on, I imagine I know it's changed a little bit out here at the farm. Has it changed what you're doing?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Where in the past people were coming to me more for like weight loss, or even
to quit smoking and stuff like that.
All different kinds of challenges. Now it's more along the line of what actually brought me to wellness coaching, which is adrenal fatigue and the cortisol levels, and the exhaustion and not being able to focus, the brain fog. So people are experiencing more of those right now because of the changes that we've all been facing, and just that unknown, because we do as humans like to be able to be in control of some things. Yes. And now it feels like there's nothing that we're in control of,
which is really hard.
Yes, it's very hard.
It's really hard. We're all little control freaks, and I know a lot of people are coming to the farm for the same thing, and I'm having trouble with cortisol around my middle, and it's just stress causes that cortisol. And one herb, a couple of them that I know that's really good is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is a great herb to handle cortisol and weight gain. So that's a good herb to incorporate, as well as Tulsi, the holy basils. And basically just take your meds: meditation, exercise, diet, and sleep. Sleep's the best herb you can take.
Oh my gosh.
Your body resets during sleep. So if you're not sleeping, you need to find out why. You need to figure it out and make sure you get some good sleep. So how are you advising your patients about your clients about cortisol and everything, how to handle that?
As you say, and it's different for each one, right? Because of how they're doing things. But if it's sleep and they're not getting more than 6 hours of sleep, what are they doing to be able to create that bedtime routine to really slow down? Because a lot of times when we're in that fight or flight mode all day long, and we're zooming, whether we're physically zooming or it's our mind that is zooming because we're overwhelmed and stressed, or then punishing ourselves emotionally and mentally because we feel like, oh my gosh, why did I watch TV for this long? Why did I do this for this long? Why didn't I do this, right? So where that inner critic is also kind of punishing ourselves, which then causes more stress, is trying to identify, first of all, how a person feels and how they can get rooted, how they can get grounded, right? I'm a big fan of earthing, getting that vitamin G,
Yes.
those negative ions
Yes.
to create homeostasis. But then just like what you're talking about, working with different adaptogen herbs and, of course, sleep. If you're not sleeping, it is the number, I'd say that's the primary thing to focus on first. Because if you're not resting and you're not getting a great night's sleep, it's hard to make great decisions when you're exhausted and burnt out.
Exactly.
It just fuels that more. And then I know for myself, if I don't get a good night's sleep, I am more tempted to be like, ooh, I'm going to choose that. And then my brain is like, what the heck are you doing, Kim? You know better than that.
Exactly.
But my brain's like, no, you deserve that because you only had 4 hours sleep last night for whatever reason, And you're like, no, because that's not going to support us. It's just going to take us down the wrong path.
You're right. We all tend to make bad decisions when we're tired,
Yeah.
about food and everything.
Yeah.
So I do the same thing. My husband will hear me talking to somebody about the importance of sleep, and he's like, you need to listen to yourself, So, but I think everybody who runs their own small business, I mean, we're all guilty about staying up all night working on it. So,
Sure.
But yeah, we've got to. For one thing, it really helps with the brain fog too. A lot of people are having brain fog right now.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And it's because we're not giving our brains a chance to rest.
Yeah.
And store our memories correctly and store our knowledge correctly. So it's a really hard time.
Yeah. Well, on that note, going back to sleep and all those different things, it's the circadian rhythm as well.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people are having so much anxiety and stress and overwhelm from what's happening. If you could turn on Facebook and, something is triggered, and that is another thing, is a lot of things that are happening during this time is a trigger from the past. So it's emotions from the past that are still trying to work through, but now these new emotions and new situations and new challenges. And so people are binge watching and staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning and then sleeping until 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And then that's causing another shift in our body. Because what people always misunderstand is, okay, well, I'll just catch up on my sleep later. You can't just catch up on your sleep. You have missed
Doesn't
out
work that way.
on hours where your body will detox and rejuvenate that you just can't get back at a different hour in the day. Those hours are designed. Our bodies are so intricately designed for that.
You were right.
So that is
You're right. Now, a lot of sleep problems are related to hormonal changes
for
too.
sure.
Big time. So if you find, especially if you're having the problem of you go to sleep and then you wake up like 1 or 2, that's definitely a hormonal thing going on. As well as needing to avoid alcohol late at night too, because that will cause that too. But anyway, if you have any of those problems, contact Kim. Can you give everybody your information?
Yeah, thank you so much. You can easily find me at creatinglegacywellness.com, and on there we'll have my email address, my YouTube, my Facebook business page, Instagram, and any other social media links that I may not remember off the top of my head. That's the best way to connect with me, is through my website.
And I'll be sure to write that in the program too with this YouTube video. And it's really great to have you today.
Thank you.
It's been nice having company. It's usually just me and the dogs, and the chickens and the bees, So it's really nice to have you. And
Well, thank you.
And thank y'all. Y'all stay well. See you next week.